Hey guys, what is up, and welcome to the first episode of the Millennial Crossover podcast. Today we have a variety of subjects to discuss today, and first off, I'd like to do this introduction. My name is Lolly, and this is Grape.
Hello.
Say hi.
Yo.
Right, so we've got an interesting topic to discuss for the first one. Are you ready, Grape?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Cousins. Would you marry them?
No. Never.
No?
No.
Would you like to know an interesting fact?
Yeah.
In the UK, it is legal to date and marry your first cousin.
Yeah, but like that'd be frowned upon. Like you just turn up to a family gathering. Like, I mean, it wouldn't be tough meeting your wife's parents because like that's your auntie and uncle. Like the fuck. But
I mean, yeah, it is frowned upon, but legal. So
it's mad that it's legal. Like, to be fair though,
It's
if
true
it was
with monarchy.
illegal, yeah, I know. But like the monarchy is not very. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that is a touchy subject when it comes to the monarchy.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
I have my own opinions saying, you know,
Me too.
it's a bit outdated, it's old-fashioned, and I feel like we need a bit of a change in the country.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I don't feel like the monarchy is what this country needs anymore.
Yeah,
It's
me
not
too.
really the staple.
I think like the way that like the parliament is fine without the monarchy, kind of.
I
If
mean,
you know what I
obviously, in Parliament, it changes like politics and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
they're
I've
all
not
out
got
for
a clue
their own
about
game.
politics.
I can speak from experiences. No matter what party you vote for, they're all out for their own gain, its own personal ego gain. Like
Yeah.
they're getting the power. It's
They're
power
all
trip.
like fairly corrupt in my opinion.
Yes.
Like there's something wrong with
yes.
every party. It just depends like
Basically, yeah.
your views on everything.
Yeah. I mean, you know, everyone's corrupt in their own way. No one is 100%
Perfect.
innocent. Yeah,
Yeah,
no one's 100%. Everyone is corrupt, and
Yeah.
it's just unfortunately what this society has come to is you have to pick who's the least corrupt out of other people. Basically.
Yeah, that is
Or
it. Like
that's
that
all
is what
you've got
people
to
end
do.
up doing. Like in elections, they just like pick the least bad one, and I find that not good at all. Like I find that really bad.
It's not really, because there's so many things wrong with that least bad one that you kind of overlook because they're not as bad as the other person.
Yeah,
And that's
100%.
like comparing, say, somebody who murdered, like a serial killer that murdered like 7 people, to Hitler. Oh well, this serial
Yeah.
killer's not as bad as Hitler because Hitler murdered like however many people, and you know.
Yeah, but then there's different factors for every single thing.
There-
you know,
exactly,
like-
yeah. There's different factors.
And there's no way of like, there's no one that's perfect. At the end of the day, like your view, someone else's view is always going to be different to your view. If that makes
Exactly.
sense.
You can't 100% agree on 100% of things 100% of the time. There is no one on this earth like can honestly, hand on their heart, say that they agree with another person 100% on everything, because that is bullshit.
But yeah,
100%.
back to the cousin thing though. I would never.
Oh, yeah.
I would. That
No.
is not like no. But
No.
for example, if someone else, and they didn't know their cousin, like they didn't know they were related almost, and then they got together and then they realised, I wouldn't frown upon it as much. But I always think like, I think that's so weird.
It'd be in the back of your head thinking, well, now you know your
Yeah.
cousins. Like, do you really
Yeah,
want
like,
to know?
that's just so creepy.
It's just one of those. I mean, everyone's gonna have their own opinion on it. Like some
Yeah, I
people
know.
will be like, you know, it's not your life. You know,
Yeah.
who are we to have an opinion on
I
you know,
know, yeah,
cousins
like,
and
yeah.
their interrelations?
Wouldn't their genetics like cross over though?
It would definitely corrupt in some form. It would definitely,
I don't think that'd be okay in the end.
a
Like, surely,
malfunctioned hardware problem
yeah.
there.
Gotta go with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as like when you know you look at siblings and stuff when they have like their weird ass. So for anime, for instance, I'm gonna change topic completely.
I have no
right
idea
now.
about anime. I'll
You
leave
have
this
no
one to
idea
you.
about anime. You can leave this
I
one
don't
to
follow
me.
anime.
Okay.
All right, go on.
Anime. Can we just talk about the fact that it 100% supports incest relationships?
Oh my
Okay,
God, what
I
the
love
fuck?
anime. I love anime. Don't get me wrong. Like I love the storylines and stuff like that. But some of them go a little bit too far with the love brother, like brother and sister love. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I can name a couple off the top of my head, but I won't delve too far into this, as Grape is very knowledgeable on the topic of anime.
I have no
unfortunately.
idea. Yeah.
But you know, that could be. We could get a guest on in a later podcast to discuss anime and its cultures and what it's left us with, because it is honestly a trash community. Okay, everyone is trash in the anime community. I don't care if you're a weeb, you're trash like me.
Fair play.
It's facts. It is just facts.
Yeah, fair enough.
There is something I do want to talk about though. It's not really in relation to anime as such, but it's cultures in the sense of foods.
Okay.
For the sense of like a lot of like a stigma around weebs as they are is that they are in love with the Japanese sort of culture and Japanese food in the sense like do you feel that food is like a relative term towards with like culture and what you're interested into? I can't speak.
I honestly have no idea about like I don't know what weeb. I have no idea
Okay,
about this anime
so
like weeb.
this is
Like, I
some
have no
factual
clue.
stuff.
Okay,
Factual stuff. Okay,
I'm
so a
ready to be
weeb
educated.
is education time with knowledge. Weeb is someone who takes interest or shows interest or has passion or love for all things Japanese, like anime, food,
Okay.
culture, obviously the TV shows, music, like anything like that.
Okay,
They're
like
classed
K-pop
as a
and
weeb.
shit.
Now, see, K-pop, that's not Japanese, that's Korean. That's
Oh
Korean pop. So
shit.
there you go. But
Okay.
I do love me a little bit of K-pop, BTS,
No way.
Blackpink.
Surely
Yeah.
not. No.
Yes.
Nah. Like I don't rate
Yes.
that music at all.
I mean, I don't. It's not like all of it. Like there are just a few songs that have like really like I fuck heavy with one of Blackpink's song.
No way, dude.
Yeah, I
I
do.
don't know.
I
Like
do.
I've never really gave it a chance. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I just kind of like frown upon it. But I don't know if that's unfair of me to do because I've never actually ever listened to it.
I mean,
But
I
I
would
don't
say
think I
it's
would enjoy it.
unfair. I would say it's unfair that you don't obviously at least give a certain genre of music a chance. Obviously, with me, I'm very diverse. Like I can sit and talk to you about the music that you like, as well as I can
Yeah.
go and talk to like some of it because I broadened my range of music, so like
Yeah.
metal, pop, K-pop, grime,
Yeah.
uh, you know, all the sorts of genres. I sort of taken like a segment out of each one and sort
Yeah.
of just developed a taste like true into its own. But like obviously everybody has their own like obviously you're at a very young age. What
Yeah.
you're 15, 16?
I'm 15. Yeah, I'm 15.
You're 15 now, so obviously you'll grow and you'll like with like as it becomes age, you'll
Yeah.
obviously get like a diverse taste in music. Obviously when I was 15, I was listening to fucking Avenged
God knows what
Sevenfold
you
and
was
Slip.
listening to when you
I
was
was listening
15.
I was listening to like Avenged Sevenfold and Slipknot,
I have no idea what you just said, but yeah.
metal,
Oh,
mostly
okay.
metal, like punk,
Alright.
like
Oh
stuff like
shit.
that.
Okay. Alright. That's interesting.
But yeah, but like obviously, I think music does affect a lot of people in this day and age,
Yeah, it
and
does.
more than it should.
It
Obviously, I
influences
love
people
music.
to be
Yeah,
different. You know, like
exactly.
what music you're into kind of like creates you into that type of person.
Yeah,
Like the thing you said with K-pop and like the weeb shit.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
I have no idea, so I might end up with some weebs like getting mad at me for not knowing or like not respecting what they're into. But like I
No,
don't
I
know what it
100% agree.
is, so
I
I
100%
can't tell them I
agree.
like it. I can't tell them I don't like it. But I don't want to kind of delve into that kind of music. I'm not really
Yeah.
into that kind of lifestyle, that like weeb stuff. I don't know.
But it's the same as when it comes to music and stuff. You have to understand, obviously, with you, you talk very differently as to what you would talk if you didn't listen to a specific genre. Obviously, you listen
Yeah,
to
true.
grime.
Yeah,
You wouldn't have the terminologies that you use without that. It's the same as like other genres.
yeah,
Wouldn't have like the same. So people are very grown around that specific music taste, and it
yeah. Like,
affects them like in a day,
mhm.
especially like in the community of like social medias and stuff. Whether they're publishing Fortnite
Yeah, hundred
content
percent.
or anything, like their music reflects into their videos because they don't want to be posting songs that they're not interested in themselves. So people do obviously reflect a lot of their personality with the music choices that they are. So a lot of it's like hello rap, they do. I can see people coming through from all different types of like spectrums. Um, and it does bring the community together a lot because a lot of people when they see these videos and that with particular music on, they're like, oh, I like that song, and it's a new genre to them, so they go and they look at other types of genres, and people like but sponge off each other so much in this community, and it's really refreshing to see because not a lot of other communities and that do people bounce off each other as much, especially in older generations. People usually just stick like through and through as to what they know, and they don't really tend to expand out further than further than that. But I feel like our generation is very open to the idea of, moving the sort of stigma along of like, oh, you are like a dork, so you must only be in that genre, or you are you're cool, so you can only listen to that kind of music, and if you don't, then you're no longer cool, or like popularity contests. I feel like are a slowly dying age with this generation, which is a really good thing to see. Cliques and that merge together, so you've got obviously video game, nerdy geeks and that mixing in with the cooler people who still play video games and that, because but it's not really separated anymore. It's kind of just merged into one, which I find really cool. I don't know about anybody else in that's listening to this right now. If you find that stigma's changing and people are getting more integrated with each other and learning to accept people for as they are. Obviously, there's still a lot of hate in the community. I do feel like toxicity is a big issue within gaming, especially gaming. Gaming is a huge issue surrounding people just being completely hatred towards each other for no reason other than the fact that they killed me in a video game, or I don't like their content, or just whatever it is. I feel like it's a very young mindset into thinking that you can belittle somebody, um, just in that sense. Um, but yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it though, like the Fortnite community is one of the least toxic side I've seen. Call of Duty was obviously the worst. Everyone remembers the good old Call of Duty lobby days. That was definitely not something to envy. I'd feel sorry for all the Fortnite 13-year-olds right now that would be back in a COD lobby back in the day. They would have definitely received a lot of backlash. But yeah, I think a lot. I think one of the least toxic communities that I've come across personally, I don't know about everybody else, but personally, is the Fortnite community, in the sense of a lot of support relies around supporting each other, especially in the Instagram community and the Twitter community. Even like sometimes, obviously, there's other communities, like the YouTube community, the Twitch community. Twitch community, I absolutely love. Don't get me wrong, I've met some fantastic people in the Twitch community via like when it comes to gaming and stuff. Um, but yeah, I feel like I feel like I'm taking over this conversation a lot, but I have a lot to say on these matters, and I'm sure like I won't be able to cover everything that I want to say in this, so there will definitely be more in the sense of like I just Twitch community. I can't. I'm not gonna rant too much about it because I love the Twitch community so much. I've met so many fantastic people, and I will just mention like a few of them now. Is like Lord Tender, Muffin Man. Um, there's a streamer Coddy Boy, Josh HDR, LSFN. Like just there's so many that I've just interacted with over the time and just gotten to know. There's like Hiccup, Ouchies. There's a lot that I've just built like a really strong friendship with, and that I respect. Like, and there's just so many people that you could like pull in and have such interesting conversations with in this community now, and I respect it highly. Um, but yeah, how do you feel that gaming and toxicity has any relation into how people like see today's generation?
Um, I just think it's a lot of like whoever's got the power can be toxic in a lot of situations over social media and a lot of like the Fortnite community and the streaming community. But
Yeah,
then there's the other side of things where someone's got all the power and the nice is just like how someone is really. It doesn't. I don't think it really like. It just depends on the person that has the following, the person that has the viewers. Like if they're a kind person, they're gonna be cool with everyone. But if they're kind of
yeah,
like almost like a popularity or like follower capitalist, like they capitalize over the people that haven't got the bigger numbers or haven't got the fans. Like I don't know if I don't think a lot of people really do that.
no, they don't, and that's what I was like. That's what I was talking about in the sense of the stigma around clicks, especially in today's like youth has been kind of almost fizzled out. Not completely, obviously in schools there's still a lot of, but online I feel like cliques are a lot more mixed. You can have people from different, like for instance me and you, we wouldn't, like if we was both in the same age and at school we would never be friends.
No.
Like it just wouldn't happen, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was a bookworm nerd, you know. Like I will completely admit to that 100%. And that I was a bookworm, and exactly, like you would not be seen chilling with the nerd in the corner reading a book, like having the time of her life, just antisocial as fuck. Like that just wouldn't happen. But in the online community, everyone can know everybody and
Yeah,
everyone
that's
talks
true.
to everybody.
Actually, yeah, it doesn't really matter who's cool, who's a bookworm. It's kind
Exactly.
of just about like who you like to speak to over online. Like I think it's
Exactly.
mainly about that than like popularity or following. Like
Exactly.
the other day, I was just chilling in a Discord. I don't know whose it was. I was just chilling in an open chat, and I was watching YouTube, and I just hear some random guy join my game. And he's like, "Yo," and I'm like, "Who is that?" And I just get talking to this guy, and he's only got like 15 followers, like on Instagram. He had like no followers. So I just shouted him
Yeah.
out, and we just got talking, and he was a really nice guy, you know what I mean? Like, it's just cool
Yeah,
to
I mean,
be
yeah.
able to speak to everyone, and they're just random people as well. Like, they're all over the
Exactly.
world. It's crazy.
I mean, that's what I love about the community, is the sense of, especially with the teams and stuff, like it brings so many people together that you would never sort of integrate yourself with
Yeah.
personally.
Mhm.
Even online, even team wise online, you wouldn't like integrate that sense of it with other people. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That's why I've got so many people in this community that I have like the utmost, and I probably will, if I name them off, that I probably will forget some of the most important people. Like you, I met you in the community, and that
Yeah.
it's like 7 6 7 months ago now.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
And it was a long time ago. Yeah, I mean that's wild to think, like six
Yeah,
seven months ago.
I've met so many people I could not name every important
I
person in my
know.
like sort
Obviously,
of
for instance, for
Fortnite
both of us would be
community.
like nurse. Like
Yeah,
nurse has
yeah,
been a big. Obviously, you know nurse like in real life, so it's a bit different.
yeah, yeah.
But community
That's the
wise as
reason I
well,
didn't get
he's
like
yeah,
kicked from any teams that just leading that,
yeah.
because
Good old nurse.
yeah, he
Nurse
was
is there to
leading them,
back
and
it. He's the boy.
he just kept me in.
Yeah, obviously we both obviously met Apollyon,
Yeah.
Trickster,
Mhm.
Wavy, Nebula, Baby Mongrel is what everyone likes to call him.
Yeah.
Good on. I actually played with him the other day. That's actually pretty interesting. But like Coddy, like Coddy Boy.
Yeah.
Like there's just so many people.
There's
And
so
obviously
many,
me
like we can't
personally,
name
there's
them because
literally
then we'll just end
I
up leaving
could go
people out.
through
Yeah.
like about 100 people right now in this
Yeah.
community that
Mhm.
I've gotten along with so well, and obviously it would just blow my mind.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that you get on with
There's
at the
just a
end
lot
of
of
the
people
day.
to thank, really. Like obviously
Yeah.
Frights, he obviously got my, obviously you guys helped me get into Limit and that, but Frights
Of
obviously was
course.
the one
Yeah.
that you boys backed it and supported it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could never. Obviously, I'm not in Limit anymore, but I still don't really have anything bad to say for the team wise.
Yeah.
Coming out of it, now, but I'm just still I'm enjoying being like
Free agent,
just focus on
almost.
free agent. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
say I'm a free agent, but I'm not a player. Like I
Yeah.
stream content. Like I'm walking, talking content, as everybody likes to call me. I
Fair
am
enough.
free content. But yeah, but
I've
it's just one of
got
them.
a fairly interesting like subjects to talk about.
Ooh, let's go.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Do I believe in ghosts? Now
Yeah.
that is throwing. Okay, so I'll tell you a little story. A story
Okay.
time, lolly. Okay.
Ghost stories, yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
I was with my mother and we was down on the university campus. There's like an underground bit where there's like they do like students do their laundry and stuff. And I can't remember why we need to go down there, but we was down there. And my mum went to open a door on one other side of the corridors, and there was this black cloaked figure that just like rushed down the hallway, and
Oh
like
my
there was a
God.
slam, but the door at the end was locked, like completely locked, and there was no way anybody was running that
shit.
fast. Yeah, me and my mum got like literally we legged it out so far out that we were like, nah, we're not fucking with that. Like that sold it into me that there isn't like there's something. Like I don't know if it's ghosts, like don't get me wrong, like I'm not gonna say I'm a full-fledged believer, like fucking
Yeah.
absolutely lost the plot, but I do believe there is something in the sense of some form of entity or spirit form
yeah.
that it's just one of them things that after that I can't can't just tell myself
Yeah, you can't tell
that
yourself that there's
me and my
something.
mum both saw it. Like, we both still know this, like, this
Oh my
actually
god.
happened. So it's just like we can't move on from it.
Oh
But
my
what about you?
days.
Do you believe in ghosts? Like, do you think that's...
I do believe like there are sort of spirits or like sort of a presence with like the dead, but like I don't think like it's a lot of like
Ifs and
what you
buts.
think. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many
And
like
what you
what
believe, yeah.
if yeah, like yeah, I do believe there's sort of like presences and spirits, but I don't believe in like, you know, like the scary ghosts that are gonna come and kill you. You know what I mean? Like I don't really.
Scary Mary.
Yeah, I don't believe in the
Bloody
bad
Mary,
ones.
Scary Mary, you know.
Yeah,
Like they were good old
good old
internet
days.
days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
good old
remember.
internet days. People stood in the mirror, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. You gotta rate it. You gotta rate people's in like creativity online. I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
I feel like
So you
it's
gotta respect all the people that just do the trends that are like completely
yeah.
ridiculous.
I mean, I fully do. Like, even if someone didn't originally come up with it themselves, people that partake in trends, they tend to sort of set, like, they boost out the internet. Like, they
Yeah.
boost out the online, like, the online vibe, if you sense,
Yeah.
like, the online has, like, a vibe that if you can look at somebody in real life and know whether they spend a lot of time on the internet. I
Yeah.
feel. I don't know if that's anyone else. I feel like you can look at someone and know, you know what, I feel like you could know memes.
Yeah.
Memes is huge. Like, memes is a huge thing. Like, if I can't talk to somebody if they don't know memes, I don't, because I don't know what to talk to them about. Like, my life revolves around memes too much. Like,
Fuck's sake.
it's true. It's
Fair
true.
enough.
Like,
Fair enough.
I couldn't sit there and go, "It's Wednesday, my dude," and they just look at me like, "No, it's like Friday." I'm like, "No, it's Wednesday."
It's a meme.
Like, yeah, it's like it's a meme, and they
Yeah.
just look at me like, "What's that?" And I'm just like, I don't associate myself with those type of people. Like, that's just not me.
Yeah. I
But
guess.
you know,
You can.
that's
What you said about like you can see someone like I don't know like you know when it was the World Cup that kind of changed a lot of my vision on like say I was looking at some of the players and I was thinking like you could tell he plays a lot of Fortnite and then you could look at players like Tfue and you wouldn't think that he played a lot of Fortnite.
Yeah, because they're it's mechanic. I think Fortnite is very very mechanic based. Like, you don't have to just be good at building or good at, like I said, you need to be good at game sense. Like, game
Yeah.
sense is huge.
You need an IQ, yeah. You need to be clever.
You need to you need to have that sort of sense. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, when I was watching the World Cup, I watched all of it, like, all
Yeah,
the way
me
through,
too.
and I
I
was
watched it, yeah.
so impressed. Like,
Yeah,
I was
honestly.
so impressed with like the plays that people made, and
100%, yeah.
they like, Fortnite has changed the way of gaming in my
100%,
eyes.
yeah. For
Like,
3 years,
especially
it's been the leading
competitive
game, yeah.
gaming. Obviously, there's always been competitive gaming. You know, World of Warcraft, League of
Yeah.
Legends, Overwatch, like
Mhm.
just CS:GO. Like, there's always been that competitive aspect to gaming. But I
Yeah.
feel like what's really blown out the water and brought a lot of people,
Attention.
a lot of attention to it, and a lot of like the variety of people to one game. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many different people that play Fortnite that
Mhm.
would play other games but wouldn't interact on, like, you know, like, there's Call of
Yeah.
Duty players in there's CS:GO players, there's people like from that play Minecraft, like, have come over, like, to play the game. Like,
Is competitive Minecraft a thing? That is the question.
is it? I don't
I don't think
honestly.
so.
I don't know.
Maybe to some
my-
esport Minecraft players. You never know. I don't
My
know.
experience of Minecraft is like just sitting in creative building like cool shit. I built the Harry Potter castle one time when it was like
Fair
it took
enough.
like weeks and weeks and weeks of just like a couple hours here and there just with my friends,
Fair play.
and that was years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't like competitive gaming. I feel I'm so impressed with. Like, I'm
Yeah.
so impressed with like how people. I've watched it, and obviously I'm not good at Fortnite myself. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna sit here and say like, oh yeah, I could definitely do what they do, because honestly, I couldn't. Like, even
Yeah.
if I had like the skills that they do on their particular, whether it's controller or keyboard, I genuinely do not feel that I could play as well as they can.
Yeah.
Just in the sense of they know what they're doing and it's already in their head. Like, they've got
Yeah.
17 moves already figured out in the head before they've even done it. Like, it's
Yeah.
just so natural to
It's
them.
It's IQ based because a
Age
lot of
based
kids.
as well.
Yeah, age. Yeah, because
They've retained this. They've
Yeah.
grown, like, they've.
like Tfue, he is the prime example when it comes to like IQ players in Fortnite. Like, he's so clever. His mechanics are good, but he's not like the most cracked. Like there's probably players in the Instagram calm like that
That
we
are better,
both know that are better mechanically, but no one could really top Tifu's IQ really. Like
yeah. No,
he's
I feel
so
that.
clever, honestly.
I feel that I do definitely agree on that sense. Like he has got very, and he's got a very like he's got an arrogance about him that
Yeah, he
obviously he
has.
does wind me up. Like, I don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and like lie to like say I'm a fan of Tifu, because I'm not. Like, I can't.
Yeah,
Like, his arrogance is
he
just
is quite arrogant,
like,
but his
yeah,
plays like back in the day when he used to just he just used to be so amazing.
yeah,
Like every kid would be like Tifu's the best player, and now he's kind of
yeah.
fell off a bit,
He
but
has
he's
fell off a
never
bit in
lost
the
that kind
sense.
of game
He's still
sense
got his
and
clout.
IQ.
He's still got his
Yeah,
clout. He's still got like his, but yeah, he kind of fell off in the sense. I think he got too arrogant at the World Cup and obviously didn't show it,
yeah,
didn't
he
turn up for it.
100% did. Did you see what he
Like,
wore? He came in like some
yeah,
sort of dodgy.
Macklemore. Like, he looked like he was
Yeah,
literally stepping off a Macklemore
yeah.
concert or something.
He
Like, he
came.
looked
He was trying to flex.
ridiculous.
He was just trying
Yeah.
to turn up and be like, oh yeah, this is easy. I can win. And then he got
Like,
shit
it
on by
wasn't his
some
for the
like
taking though. It just wasn't. Like, if you
yeah.
saw the players, like, obviously people with LAN experience was there, and obviously they have so much more advantage. Obviously, a LAN tourney is completely different to playing like a
I
cash
know.
cup.
I don't think I could. I don't think I'd ever be good. I'm good at the game, but I don't think I'd be very good at like LAN tournaments. I think I'd just crumble,
Ah,
honestly.
yeah, no, you cut out there. What did you say?
I said, if I went to like a LAN tournament, I'd just crumble under pressure, like 100%.
Yeah, that's like what I feel like a lot of players could like would experience that, especially in the community. They all say, oh yeah, like that they do so well in these cups, and obviously the ones that you just sit at home for and
Yeah,
play
it's a
and
lot
that.
of
But if
that
they was
sort of like
actually
yeah.
like flown out, because obviously I was doing when I was under limit management, we was organising to fly the players out to DreamHack.
Oh yeah,
Obviously, I don't know if they're still doing that.
I think they are.
I
Yeah,
was they're probably gonna still do that in a sense. But when we was all discussing it, we had to make sure that the particular players were going to be ready for that, because we didn't
yeah,
want to just send out people who were, don't get me wrong, absolutely incredible at the game, insane. Like, you couldn't fault them for, obviously they like they did really good placements, like stuff like that. But actually, a LAN, like being in that situation of where you're surrounded by other people and you can
yeah.
like, you know,
It's just the pressure. Like players like
yeah.
is it Zayt, Saf, Sam? Like it's a lot of them sort of players that
Yeah,
aren't very big on the media, but then when it comes to like LAN tournaments, they'll
yeah,
always
they're
do
huge
well.
in land. Yeah, they'll always do well because they don't focus. That's the thing. Like, a lot of these players that go to land tournaments, they don't focus on growing themselves as a personality.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas a
It's a
lot
lot
of the
of as a
community
person.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just focus on, you know what, I'm just gonna spend my time playing this game,
mhm.
sweating it out, you know, getting good, winning money. Like,
Yeah.
that's their mentality. They're just like, this is my living. This is what
It's
I wanna
crazy that
do.
you can actually make a living off playing
I
Fortnite.
know, I
Honestly.
know, and that's not even just like in gaming in general. Like, obviously, Fortnite is so big for making money off of, like, whether you stream it, whether you make content on it,
Yeah,
whether you wrote.
honestly.
Like, you can sit on YouTube and like hate the game all you want and sit there
Mhm.
and say it's a game for babies, it's a trash game, blah blah. You cannot deny that game right there that you're talking about is making you money
Yeah,
yourself. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you
yeah.
can sit, like, it's just one of them, you know, opinions and
I've got a
stuff.
point, and I don't know if you're really gonna agree with it.
Oh, it's gonna be controversial for
Um,
me.
shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh my god, Matt. I've literally just forgot what I was gonna say.
I think I know what you're gonna say, not gonna lie.
What did you
Like,
think I was
in
gonna
my
say?
head, I feel like you're gonna say that females in the community are very questionable in their how they go about getting their
No, 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 it wasn't
clouts and
that.
such, no?
It was something. Oh yeah, that was it. I was gonna say like, who's your favorite player and why?
Oh, who's my favorite player? What, in the community or in general?
Like a pro player, like a proper like LAN
Proper pro
tournament,
player,
like
LAN
World
tournament
Cup
player.
pro player.
I'd have to say Stompy,
Okay.
E11 Stompy,
Yeah.
or Ghost Aiden.
Yeah, Eden. Oh my,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not even just the sense of like him being a pro in that sense, but he's such a lovely, like, I can sit in his streams for hours and he's just so bubbly and
Yeah, he's a
so
pretty cool
like,
guy.
it's like, hey brother, how's it going, brother? Oh, thank you, brother. Thanks for the follow, brother. And it's just like, I don't know. He's
That
just one of those, like,
repetition.
just, yeah. I just it just he's so weird as well. He doesn't stay. He stays true to himself. Like, when he's on a stream, like, even now he's got like thousands of people watching him, and that he doesn't switch up.
Yeah,
Like,
he is.
he
Yeah, he's a
doesn't stop being
proper.
weird. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he is
stop
really
being
funny.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just there, and I feel like that's a really good inspiration and that for a lot of
Yeah.
people who just want to just be themselves.
The last time I watched Aiden's stream, he like, I forgot what he did. He like stood up in front of his face cam and did take the L. It was so
Yeah.
funny, and he did
Yeah.
like a mongrel impression, and that was funny.
Mongrel. Mongrel is a hit. I have to, if I watch the streams, I have to turn it down.
Yeah,
Like, or,
honestly,
like,
he's so
literally
loud.
10%. 10%.
Yeah.
And the same with playing with Nebula. I had to turn Nebula down to like 10%. I can't play with Nebula without it.
Honestly.
For anyone wondering, Nebula is in the community with us. He was in the team with us, and honestly, I'd recommend playing with him. He's funny as fuck.
Yeah, he's a legend.
For real,
He
and he's
yeah.
insane at the game.
100%. He's like Cairo in a sense.
Yeah. I played with Cairo. Good old Cairo.
Just prepare for your ears to get
missed those
hurt if you're
people.
playing with Cairo. Honestly, he's gonna
Yeah.
destroy your ears.
Prepare your ears. You want to mute him, like scream. He will dead ass scream in
Yeah,
your
he
ears.
will. 100%.
That's it's just, but I love all the people in the community. Like, I don't think, like, I mean, there's obviously people that obviously I've had disagreements with and fallen outs and stuff and that, but I feel like as a whole, unless you are like the most toxic human being going,
You're gonna
I have
find
so
friends,
yeah,
and you're gonna.
like you're gonna
100%.
you're gonna find a place in the community, like with ease.
Yeah.
But like, do you like? I feel though that fame and earnings change people.
Yeah.
So
100%.
especially in the community, like I'm not just talking about pro players, blah blah blah. I'm talking about people in the community that have earnings from cash cups or whatever it is, the wages.
Yes.
Like, I feel like
100%.
earning. Like, obviously, there's people. Don't get me wrong. Not everyone that's got earnings in the community. Okay, please do not at me about this, because I don't feel like all of you have that ego, but a lot of people have an ego.
Yeah,
I've
100%.
met several.
Like Bugger, when he won All My Days, he came home and he was like, Bugger just literally, he came home and he just showed off in pubs. Like, no hate for Bugger, I love Bugger. He's amazing.
No hate. But,
when he came home from the World Cup, like, I was just watching him play Arena and he was literally just showing off, like, so much.
I mean, I get, like, you've just won the World Cup, you know, like,
Yeah,
I'd
you're
be
gonna
a bit
gas.
gassed too.
Yeah,
like,
true.
You're gonna be gassed too, because that's like the world, that's like everybody.
Yeah, everyone's
like,
looking up his name now, for real.
But for these kids and that in the community that win, I don't know, like 17 wages in a row, go 17-0, and they've won, I'll say, like £200 or something. Like, it's just, there's no need to have an ego for that, because I guarantee you'll come up against a player that you'll get absolutely destroyed by, and it'll knock you down a peg or two.
And a lot of it, like as we said before, like no matter where you are, if you want to be good at Fortnite, you need your head to be in it, if you know what I mean.
Exactly, and it's not even just your head. You need to just basically not be like, if you have, and there's a difference between. That's what I've always said in that industry. There's a difference between having an ego and being confident.
Yeah.
By all means, be confident in yourself and your abilities and that, but don't reduce that to being egotistical and tearing other people down.
For some people though, it's hard to sort of like, it's hard to maintain. Yeah, it's hard to maintain like a confident ego sort of range.
But that's the age. That's why it's like, it's a lot with the age. And
Yeah,
so obviously,
like, a lot of
like
kids
if
are,
the
like,
older
quite-
you are, the more mature you are, the more you can handle, like, obviously what you get. But I mean, I'm not just saying that also, because some people with earnings that are younger and that deal with it really well and are really lovely and really nice in that sense. But there is a lot that's just, wow. You just look, you're just like, wow, like, where have you got this ego from?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
congratulations.
Like, they've got no reason to have an ego either. Like, they can do a free
you won
build and
£200
they're like,
off a Winter Royale. Like, congratulations. Like, you know, especially EU wise, like, well, that was top 2,000. I nearly fucking earned in that, and I'm not even a player. Like, I was so close to earning. I think I was like 5 points off earning on that.
no
so
way,
GGs.
that's crazy.
I know.
I didn't get to play. I was busy with my family and my girlfriend. Like, that was like, I wanted to play Winter Royale, and I always want to play like cups, but they're always over like my dinner. They're always over me going out, and I'm not going out to try and make earnings.
Yeah, exactly. That's you have a very different mentality than what I've seen in the com. A lot of like people like teenagers your age will cut out on family time, cut out on friend like in real life friend time just to spend it playing Fortnite. It is. And I do feel like, in a sense of, as much as I admire Fortnite, the way they've changed the game, and I also I condemn it in the sense of, like, it has caused like a really severe addiction.
Yeah, 100%. It is an addiction.
In younger minds. It is a real
addiction.
thing.
Especially for the younger people in the community. Like, they literally, like, I do spend a lot of time on my PC playing Fortnite. I do spend a lot of time, like, uploading videos and shit.
But you can walk away from
But
them.
I can't.
I
Yeah,
don't
like
feel
I
like you're
walk away
addicted.
from
I
it.
don't feel like you personally are addicted because you can walk away. You have,
Yeah.
obviously, you have your girlfriend, you have your
Mhm.
friends, you have
Yeah, I have
your
a lot of actually
family.
things to do, but like
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not going to bring up examples, but like I know there's a lot of people in the community that like literally will
your
spend
mic
all
cut
day.
out.
I hate my mic. I need to get a new one
Yeah,
actually.
you need to get a new mic.
Anyway, I said I'm not going to name names, but there's a lot of people in the community that like are, I would say, addicted, and they can't
Yeah,
leave it. They can't leave their
yeah.
PC, and it's
Yeah, there's
sad. It
also a
is
lot of
actually really
attention, like
sad.
people who like will do something for attention in the community in the sense of like they don't want to leave the game, they're not going to quit, but they want other people to
So they'll say
validate
that,
them.
yeah. So they'll say
Yeah,
they're quitting.
they
I
want other
think
people
we
to
both
validate
know a
them.
prime
Yeah.
example, but I'm not
Oh,
naming
we're
names.
not gonna name names. We're not a roasting podcast yet.
Yeah,
Not yet.
yet.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, guys. It will probably eventually turn into us roasting every single person, and we will have no friends left. But currently we're trying to keep things on a professional level.
Yeah. 100%.
But yeah, no, we both. I mean, I'm not even just can't even just name just one person. We know many people who have said time and time again they're gonna quit the community, they're gonna leave, they're gonna stop,
And then they just
and then they
don't.
come back
Yeah.
and yeah, and it's not even it's like after a day. Like I understand
Mhm.
people who genuinely like do take a break and
Like I took a break. I took like a 2 week break.
yeah,
I was playing FIFA, but
yeah, and that's
I actually
understandable.
was really enjoying FIFA, and the only reason I actually came back to the community was because my Xbox broke that I was playing FIFA on. So like I was playing
I
FIFA with a lot of
mean,
my in real life friends. That was really fun. But like then
yeah,
my
that's what you
Xbox
enjoy
broke.
though.
Yeah.
Like you just do what you enjoy. You don't have to do things just because you feel like you've got to do them.
Yeah.
Like you just want to do that. It's the same as like obviously this is going to be a bit of a touchy subject for a lot of people. Is that I took a break. It was a 2 week break as well. I think it was near enough around the time you did, maybe just a little bit before.
Mhm.
Was for mental health,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's a big issue in today's youth, as well as obviously it's not spoken about enough. I don't feel as like it's not
Yeah.
normalized enough. Like
That's kind of like a
everybody
touchy
will struggle.
subject
It
for
is a touchy
everyone.
subject, but everyone needs to know that it's okay to talk about. Like I'm very open when I'm streaming, when I'm talking to people in the community on my stories and that. If I'm having a bad day, I'll tell people, look, I'm not having a very good day mentally,
I'm not
and that
very open
I will
about
be
that
taking
ever,
it down.
really.
I
Honestly.
mean, you should be, because at the end of the day, like a lot of people, like in this world, would love to like tear each other down and just see like to try and grow themselves and that. But like I want to like try and help the community and realize that you can support everybody and
Yeah.
still have that
A
platform for
lot of the people
yourself.
that are young like now though, like they're not nice to each other, and I've
No,
witnessed that so many times, and
no.
it's
I mean,
just
they can
so
be friends,
sad.
but they're not nice to each other.
Yeah.
Like they'll play with each other and that on a daily basis, and still throw so much shade and hate towards each
Yeah.
other
At the end of
like
the day.
separately. And it's
Mhm.
just it's a crazy concept to me, because like if you didn't like when I was your age and that, if you didn't like somebody, you didn't talk to them at all. Like
Yeah.
you
But
wouldn't
now
play
it's
with
just like
them.
now you sort of like almost talk to people to talk about them. If that makes sense,
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly. And
Yeah.
it's a very toxic mentality in the sense of
And it's literally
um
everywhere. It is honestly
yeah.
disgusting in my opinion.
Yeah, and it is, and it does tear a lot of people down, especially like the younger ones. Obviously, they're going through like a lot of like difficult times in their life, whether it's families like parents divorcing. Like this is a very critical time in their life where they're gonna
Yeah.
have things happen to them that is out of their control, and they'll feel very like drawn towards the online community in the sense of because it's consistent for them. They've
Yeah.
always known it to be there,
Mhm.
and it will definitely play like a factor. Obviously, there'll be like divorces in family, like I said. There'll be obviously friendships will be lost in real life.
Mhm.
Bullying, like that's still like a huge thing in like the younger. Obviously, it's not as big as what it used to be. I will admit, like I have seen like a lot of people say it has died down a lot
Mm.
in comparison. Because when I was at school, it was everywhere. Like I
Yeah.
was personally bullied, and that throughout my whole school time,
Mhm.
and I've personally seen a lot of other people bullied as well, and I feel like kids need a voice in the sense of I don't feel that they get enough credit for what they do. I feel like
Yeah.
parents and obviously older family members, like they just brush off what their kids do to the side, and that like, oh, they'll grow out of it eventually, when actually it's probably the new generation. Like, so the new generation is a new age, like they're growing into themselves, they're finding what their
Yeah.
interests is, like our parents did and
And
what
whilst
their
this is
parents
all
before
happening
did.
as well, they've got all this pressure of exams coming upon
Exactly.
them, and that is like,
Exams, yeah. Educational system in the UK, obviously, is a subject that I feel very strongly about. I even
me
when I was at
too.
school,
I feel
I
very strongly
petitioned.
about it too. I really don't like it.
I petitioned so hard when I was at school to have different like ways of management towards how they approach like how to educate children, because at the end of the day, you are not the same as everybody else. You will not learn in the same sense.
Yeah.
There's no way that every single person can memorize all these things and get everything 100% right all the time.
Yeah.
Brains just don't work like that for everybody. Like, some people learn in a physical way, in by doing more than by reading, and some people learn by reading. Obviously, me,
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough. I have like what they call a semi-eidetic memory, in the sense of I can read things if I understand it. It's there. It's like in my brain. But
Mm.
with that, I have compassion and empathy for people who can't, who didn't do it as easy, as it didn't come as easy. So, but I also feel jealous for them because they have to work harder, and means that they have more of a stronger work ethic than I do. Obviously, I have
Yeah.
a strong work ethic. Oh my god, English. I have a strong work ethic for the fact that like it doesn't take as much effort as me to learn stuff like that than other people.
Mm.
But I do feel like it does lack in comparison, and I do envy people who have that drive
Yeah.
behind them that is stronger than mine, because I would like to have that same sort of energy towards that.
Yeah.
But I do feel like the government, in the sense of like not even just in the UK but worldwide, um, I feel like Sweden, or is it Sweden or Switzerland? One of them have got it right in the sense of that children don't start school until they're like 8 years old or something.
Yeah. They can find
Um,
themselves then, sort of.
yeah, so they grow in themselves. They learn their individuality first,
Mhm.
in the sense of before getting put into a system that will literally just tear you, like put you in like, you're this, okay, oh, so you're not good at that, so oh, you can go in that category, or you're not good at that, you can go over there, like,
But like,
you
what you've
know.
got to think about is, say if they did go like in the UK, if children did go into schools like at the age of 8, maybe like for the children that are like sort of more not as rich as others, like that can't afford things as much, maybe, because I know that schools help with like free meals for the not as
Yeah,
wealthy, which
but
maybe if they had to
in
grow up before like they did go into school, maybe they'd become a less normal person and go into school like not as sort of mainstream as they should do. I don't know, like I think it.
I mean, I guess in like in different countries it's different. Obviously, in that culture, it's always been sort of that kind of way. Parents get a lot of help from the government in the sense of the first 8 years of the child's life.
Mm,
In the sense of if they can't work as much, there's always places that the children can go,
yeah.
or family. Like it's a very communal and like it's all everyone. It's a community. They all help each other
Yeah.
in the sense of for that. But when you look at it for the UK, for example, like I'm not gonna lie to you, UK pretty fucking scummy in
Yeah.
the sense of like the people in the UK, in like there's a lot of people on benefits that you just don't want to associate yourself with, because there's a lot of people that are just on benefits just for the sake of, oh, I don't have to work, I can just
Yeah.
sponge off the government my whole
And
life, and
that's not fair, because we pay
it's
tax
not.
for them to sort of
Exactly.
like, but then there's people that actually do need it, that are
Exactly, they
struggling
do
with
need it, and they
health,
do
mental
need the help
health.
and stuff. Yeah,
Like people that
and
actually
that
are
is
struggling,
understandable.
they
That is
can
actually
sort
understandable.
of, yeah, like if they are struggling in any sense, then fair enough. I think that's a good benefit system. But the people
But
that
it's the
aren't
fat
struggling,
fucks. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I know I'm going to put this most impolite way, but it's the fat fucks that sit on their ass and are capable of doing something about like what like
yeah, they're capable of
everything.
actually
Yeah,
changing it,
they're
but they won't
capable of
do it.
changing it, but they won't do it.
Yeah,
And that is what annoys me about the mentality of like, especially middle-aged people. I'd say between the age of 30, like 30 to 50, that is the age group right there that has sunken into like this whole ideal of just I'm not going to work for this. I'm doing it. Like, there's a lot of people in that generation that just don't give a fuck. And it really winds me up because obviously I'm not far, like, when I think about it, I'm not really that far off 30. That's 8 years away from me. That was 7 years after this year. So, you know, like,
You're getting
yeah.
on to 30.
It's in like 7.5 years' time. Yeah, I'll be
22?
30. I'm 22. Yeah,
Okay. That's
that's it.
crazy.
It is crazy to think about, and it's just, to me, it's just like mental, It's just mental. It's just absolutely mental.
You've
But
grown up so
yeah,
quick.
I know. It feels like just yesterday I was like your age,
Yeah.
literally.
I
But
hope
yeah,
it doesn't
that.
feel like tomorrow that I'm your age. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to grow up that quick.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. It won't feel like it at the time, but once you get to like, you start getting on a couple of years, like, obviously, then it'll be like, oh, you'll be like, oh, I'm 18 now. Oh, I'm 20 now. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
20. Oh shit! And then here you are, and you're just sat there thinking, fuck.
I am
That's
now Lolly's age.
yeah. You just start thinking, fuck. Like now I know how it feels. Like honestly, I like from the age of 15 to now, it doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Oh my
I left
god.
school at 16,
Yeah.
and I can honestly say I can still remember everybody's name that I went to school with
Oh my
because
god.
it doesn't feel like that long ago to me.
Holy.
But yeah, I think we've pretty much covered everything we want to talk about on today's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you agree?
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
All right. Well, thank you to everybody tuning in to today's podcast. We will be back. We don't know when. We're just gonna freelance this for a bit,
Yeah,
see how it
we
goes.
just do this on, you know.
Yeah, we just do this whenever we feel like we've got enough to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope everybody's enjoyed and has, a fantastic start to the new year.
Okay. Alright, that's that.
Boom!